Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're doing notes. The title of these notes are combining like terms. And we're going to do steps on this side, and we have an example ready to go on that side. So you can get your notebook set up, get the title, copy down the example, press pause, get your stuff set up, and when you're ready, you can unpause. I'm going to give you the steps and then show you how to do it. So step 1 is identify like terms. And the important thing to remember here is include the sign. Where everybody gets messed up is with signs. So that's why we're doing this, because we're going to review how to deal with the signs. So you want to include the sign. Okay, and a strategy for this is use colors or shapes if you're a visual learner. And I'm going to show you what that means. That's supposed to be an R. Okay, so you can just take down the notes and then I'm going to show you what it means. So step 1 is identify like terms. Step 2 is combine like terms. Using the following sign rules. Okay, and everywhere I say sign, I'm just going to put a little green cloud around it to help you. Okay, so sign rule number 1, or the first sign rule, is if signs are the same, you're going to add the numbers and keep the sign. So when signs are the same, add the numbers, keep the sign. When signs are different, let me just change colors here. I'm going to try to write this so that my little head doesn't in the screen get over it. I hope that doesn't happen here. It's hard for me to see that here. But when signs are different, subtract the numbers you're going to do the bigger minus the smaller. Good fit. And keep the sign of the bigger number. And I'm putting bigger in quotes because it's not the bigger number. It's the absolute value of the bigger number, but that is a mouthful, and that makes it harder to remember. Okay, so when signs are different, subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the bigger number, and you're always going to do big minus small. So you pause and get those notes, and then get ready to do the example, and you can do the example with me if you want. So identify like terms, and it says include the sign. So I'm going to start with the X's, and I'm going to use red circles. I think I'll use red squares. We have 3x. There's no sign with that 3, which means it's a positive, so I'm going to add a positive there. So we have positive 3x, and we have negative 7x. Notice how I'm including the sign. That's really important. Okay, then I'm going to combine those like terms using the sign rules. So these signs are different. We have a positive 3 and a negative 7. So I'm going to subtract those numbers, and I'm going to do big minus small. So I'm going to do 7 minus 3, and I'm going to get 4. So there's 4 x's, and I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger number, or the absolute value, of the bigger number, or the number that has the bigger absolute value. And so that's a 7. Since it's a -7 and a +3, this is going to be -4x. This is like if you have $3 and owe $7. When it's all comes out in the wash, you're still going to owe $4. Okay. So then I'm going to use pink circles for the y terms. We have a +4y. Notice how I'm including the sign, and a +2y. Signs are the same, positive and positive. So I'm going to add the 4 and the 2 to get a 6, and I'm going to keep the sign positive. So this is +6y. And then I have the constant terms, the ones without variables. Okay, and I'm going to use a green circle. We have a -8 and a -5. Negative, so signs are the same. So I'm going to add the 8 and the 5, 13, and I'm going to keep the sign -13. I hope you guys can see that light green. I'm going to trace that with black just in case. So this expression, it is an equivalent expression. It is simplified to -4x + 6y - 13. Before I let you go, we're going to take a look at one with fractions and decimals. So just give me a second to get that set up. Okay, so when you see one like this, you might freak out. You don't need to freak out. You can just remember when signs are the same, you're going to add the numbers. Add the numbers, keep the sign. That's supposed to be an S and a comma. When signs are different, are they all different here? Yeah, I think I gotta change this. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to change it. When signs are different, you're gonna subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So here we go. We've got x's. We've got a positive 0.5x and a negative 1.2x. So signs are different. So we're going to subtract. We're not going to freak out. We're just going to subtract. We're going to do the bigger number minus the smaller number. So we're going to ignore the signs. We're going to do 1.2 minus 0.5. When you're subtracting, you need to line up the decimals. 12 minus 5 is 7. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, so you subtract the bigger minus the smaller. We ignored the signs. And then, so when signs are different, subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we subtracted, and the bigger number is the 1.2, so this is going to be negative 0.7x. Nothing to freak out about. Okay, the fractions may even cause you more heart palpitations. We're going to just be really calm. We're going to put red box around this. We're going to put red box around this. Okay, this is a negative, this is a negative, so we have signs are the same. So we're going to ignore the signs, we're going to add. So we've got 1/2 plus 3/8. When you're adding, you need a common denominator. It's going to be 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4/8 plus 3/8 is 7/8. So there we go. We're going to add, and we're going to keep the sign of the bigger, and we're going to keep the sign. So it's negative 7/8. So this becomes negative 0.7x minus 7/8 y. So the moral of the story is that the rules are going to help you. These sign rules are going to help you when you have fractions and decimals that you're dealing with. Don't let them freak you out. You're either adding the numbers or subtracting the numbers. Okay, so now you're going to practice. See you guys soon.